Winter has a way of filtering out the casual rides. More gear, less daylight, weather that doesn't negotiate. Every kilometer demands a little more thought. Every stop reminds you that this season doesn't really forgive shortcuts. You plan more, you rush less, because rushing is usually how winter reminds you who's in charge. And yet, that's exactly why you ride. Cold air sharpens everything. Empty roads feel wider. Familiar landscape stop behaving the way you remember them. Winter doesn't change the ride. It changes how you pay attention to it.
Good morning. It is very early, very foggy, and very cold. There should be some good weather above that fog, so hopefully it'll clear out pretty soon. But man, it's cold. Even with the sub-zero gloves, my fingers are frozen. The joy of winter camping.
I'm doing things a little differently. Most trips have a habit of collapsing into the same rhythm. Ride until the light gives out, then scramble to build camp before the darkness takes over. But today's Friday, and that changes the equation. Places like this don't stay quiet for long, once the weekend starts rolling in. So the plan is simple. Get in early, claim a spot, drop the weight, and go for a ride while there's still daylight to spend. And with a cold night coming in, the early start means something else too. Time. Time to gather firewood properly, instead of doing it in the dark with tired hands. On this trip, I'm also testing a new mic setup. I've got the Insta360 Mic Pro capturing the exhaust note, and the Mini in my helmet. With camp not far off, I take a detour through a few tracks I know well, or thought I knew well. Recent rain have rewritten them. Familiar lines turn unfamiliar. Every corner asks for restraint. The bike moves differently here, searching for grip that may or may not exist. Winter has a way of changing the landscape. Tracks that feel predictable in the summer become a completely different challenge once the rain arrives. I roll back through a place I know well. A place that once sparked all of this some years ago. Before YouTube, before this became something I shared with other people. Back then, it was just another weekend away, another ride into the bush. Looking back now, I didn't realize how those early trips would eventually become the reason this channel exists. It's early, but people are already starting to arrive. The quiet window is closing faster than expected. Even here, nothing stays empty for long. Camp is set, gear is offloaded, and a huge stack of firewood is collected and stacked for later. So I head back out again, while there's still light to use. The bike feels different now. Lighter, more willing. Without the weight of camp, it reacts instead of resists. It's amazing how removing a few kilograms changes the whole character of a motorcycle. Suddenly the steering feels lighter, direction change comes easier, and the bike feels eager to explore. But the ground hasn't improved. The surface looks solid, a thin crust that promises traction, but underneath, it's nothing but slick, shifting and unforgiving. Every line becomes a negotiation. Every correction arrives a little late. The bike isn't being ridden, as much as it's being argued with. Then, I try one more track, just to see. It doesn't take long before I understand that this last track of the day may well have been a mistake. Couple 100 meters from the top, the bike settles into a kind of bog that doesn't give anything back. Bash plate down, movement gone.
Fuck.
And suddenly, it's not a ride anymore. It's a problem. I was out here for a little while. Mud, sweat, digging, lifting, pushing. It finally gave up enough to move again. By the time the bike breaks free, I'm exhausted. Solo riding always looks like freedom from the outside, and most of the time it is. But moments like this remind you that this freedom is a fine balance. Out here, more often than not, there's no one to share the weight when the forest decides to pause the ride.
Glad I was able to get myself out from being absolutely bogged. I don't really know what happened. I think the bash plate just thumped the ground after the wheel sunk in. But yeah, she was probably in there.
There's nothing quite like riding back into camp with a day's riding done, knowing there's nothing left to do other than lighting the fire, relaxing, and enjoying what's left of the day. I've missed coming down to this spot, in the joy of a simple trip. Sunset here are usually breathtaking, and somehow they never disappoint. That was one messy afternoon. The MT is definitely going to need a proper clean after today, but that's a job for tomorrow. Tonight, it wears every scratch, every layer of mud, like a reminder it was used exactly the way it was meant to be. Firewood is ready, gear is drying. The fire finally catches hold, pulling the day back down into a manageable size. The crackle of burning timber replaces the sound of the engine. The smell of smoke settles over camp. Everything slows. This is the payoff. Boots off. Mud drying into something that already feels like a story you'll tell better tomorrow. Every sketchy moment is already starting to soften around the edges. The night settles in properly now. The cold air arrives and the temperature drops fast. Thermals are on, and the fire keeps pushing back against the cold. For a while, nothing else matters. Just firelight, still air, and the quiet satisfaction that comes with spending the entire day exactly where you want it to be. Tomorrow, it all packs down again. The mud gets washed, but the memories have already started to take shape. That's the funny thing about these trips. You rarely remember the easy moments. It's the unexpected detours, the difficult tracks. Those become the stories worth telling. Adventure has never really been about the perfect rides. It's about the imperfect days that somehow make perfect memories. But tonight is just this, and that's enough. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.